I was first rooted in another country from where I am now, and the roots were torn at the time, uplifted. I believe what we consider transplanting, and I was transplanted to another continent, and we arrived in Canada. And that transformation and change from the difficulties, the grayness, the darkness, and coming into something that was light and bright and clean and fresh for myself, a very strong impression as a young child. And I had a sense that this was a place where this transplant would have a chance. And it turned out to be that the nurturing that came from being in this part of the world and the changes that occurred allowed something to develop, kind of like a tree that has a strong foundation, a strong root, and the movement of this tree is for something greater, something reaching towards the light, which is something higher, like our sun, which feeds us and which feeds the trees. And so having an opportunity to be in a different soil, if we take that analogy further, the soil and this transplantation that occurred allowed the growth. And for me, the influences of life have always had behind it this force of something that is seeking, questing for something higher. And I have tried to understand that in my own work. And I believe that is the essence of this, what is we call influences, and how we can absorb the changes. And as a tree would stand up against the storm, but it has to have the strong roots evolved, and then it can overcome whatever is thrown at it under normal conditions. So that is the essence of my story, of how I feel the coming to a different possibility and rooting into this new possibility has allowed interaction between others who have been displaced, and a kind of an understanding of what that means to have had to be uprooted from somewhere and then transported somewhere else, and had the opportunity to evolve and grow.
The trunk of the tree, le tronc de l'arbre, agok, branches, branche, egg, chair, sky, ciel. A székely magyar mitológiában létezik a csodálatos fa szimbóluma. The miraculous tree, l'arbre miraculeuse qui pousse jusqu'au ciel, du terre à travers le ciel. Les racines de l'arbre sont enracinées dans la terre natale et les branches de l'arbre poussent à travers le ciel. Az égigérő fa, copacul care atinge cerul, the tree who is reaching the sky. l'arbre qui touche le ciel. Le tronc de l'arbre se situe entre la terre et le ciel, devient un passage symbolique entre les deux. La terre et le ciel transformant, donnant à l'arbre une dimension anima. L'arbre devient un être vivant avec des attributs humains et superhumains, devenant en même temps simplement un attribut cosmologique, ou part de la cosmogonie.
Annak ellenére, hogy én a gyökereimet magam mögött hagytam, mert eljöttem az országomból, és ez a saját választásom volt, a gyökereim mindig nagyon befolyásolták mindazt, amit csináltam, amit gondoltam, és amerre az életem haladt. Például azt gondoltam, hogy azáltal, hogy eljövök, mindent ott tudok hagyni, és mindent el tudok felejteni, de nem úgy van. Nagy meglepetésemre többet kellett visszanéznem, mint előre, vagyis jobban számítottam a gyökereimre, mint gondoltam volna. Azok a régi emlékek, azok a hagyományok, az a nemzeti, a magyar irodalom, a magyar költészet, az mindig ott van velem, és ez sokat befolyásolta a munkámat is, és a családi életemet is. Mindig a római isten János jut eszembe, akinek a fején két arc van, az egyik hátrafelé néz, a másik előre. És a hátrafelé néző mindig a múltat szemléli, míg az előre néző előre a jövőbe néz. Én is úgy voltam, hogy mindig hátrafelé kellett néznem, mert arra támaszkodtam, ami megtörtént, amiről tudok, ami biztos, vagyis a gyökereimre. És ezek nélkül nem láttam volna, és nem tervezhettem volna semmit előre. A kerámiámat is befolyásolja ez, mert azok a magyaros motívumok soha nem tűntek el a műveimről. Arról nem is beszélve, hogy hát a kiejtésem az marad. Annyira, hogy még a rádión és a tévén is megismerem, ez magyar. A családomnak próbálom szintén beadni azt, hogy hát nem kell elfelejteni, hogy honnan jövünk, és úgy megörültem neki, a fiam tavaly hazament Magyarországra, és teljesen beleszeretett az országba. Azóta is csak azt várja, hogy mikor mehet vissza. A másik fiam és az unokák, azokat picikorukban megtanítottam a gólya-gólya gilicére. Még a mai napig is tudják. Ez egy kis gyerekversike. És mindig beszélek nekik arról, hogy hogy volt a régi országban, és ezáltal gondolom, hogy segítem abban őket, hogy ők is szolidabbak. Tudják, honnan jöttek, tudják, hogy kik voltak az őseik. És hát ezáltal talán jobb emberek lesznek.
My roots are a part of who I am. I have Hungarian, French, and German roots. I was born in Montreal, and I've always lived in Montreal, a bilingual city with a French and English culture. I like to think that living surrounded by all these cultures has given me an open mind, but it has also made me raise a lot of questions. Because no decision comes easily. I always see things from many different perspectives. I question everything. No answer comes easily. That is why I make art. I make art as I live. I make art to answer questions, to follow quests, to make discoveries and to share the discoveries. I like to confront the unknown through representation.
Well, regarding my photography in rural Quebec, it was always a problem how to meet people. I walk in a village, set up my camera. I work with a large format camera, a 4x5-inch camera on tripod and the black cloth over my head. And I started photographing one of the buildings, which I liked very much, the architecture. And people came out and asked me, why, what are you doing? And I said, well, I'm photographing your house because I like it. And very often they would invite me, telling me that I'd like to show you the interior, which is very old furniture. And I took advantage of the invitation and I photographed the interiors. Though it happened to me once that I did photograph a beautiful building in Lobinière, and I folded my camera and I returned in about 3-4 weeks to give them a photograph, because it's very important for me to give the photograph, not only take one. A photograph has to be returned to the community. So I knocked on the door, and at that time I had a beard, an accent, which I still have, and I told them I'd like to give you a photograph. So the guy shut the door, and I knocked again. I said, I'm not selling you a photograph, I'm giving you one. So he let me in, and it turned out that it was a beautiful interior, untouched on the top floor. Everything was the same as 50 years ago. And I took wonderful photograph of this interior. This is it.
Qui suis-je? Je me suis longtemps posé cette question. J'avais des certitudes. Je savais que mes ancêtres étaient hongrois, mais je n'étais jamais allée en Hongrie. Donc, j'avais mon papa qui me disait toujours ce que c'est que d'être hongrois. Alors pour moi, c'était un univers idéalisé. C'est où les gens s'entraident, où il y a des valeurs d'honnêteté, où il faut travailler fort pour la communauté. Et ça m'est resté. Par contre, je suis née en France. Donc, j'avais les valeurs avec mon père. Et puis, la France, j'adore la France. Je considère aussi mon pays. Et mon éducation s'est faite en français. Tous les romans de Voltaire à Lamartine, jusqu'à aujourd'hui, les grands philosophes, je pense en français. Mais je suis au Québec. Je suis née de passage. Je suis née de l'autre côté de l'océan, mais je suis arrivée en bateau. Donc, je suis devenue quelqu'un ici, avec toutes ces idées d'un autre ailleurs. Et je considère que je suis encore seule. Par contre, quand je suis dans la nature, là, je me retrouve comme étant avec le tout. Donc, j'ai celle qui se sent seule et il y a celle qui se trouve tout plein de choses. Alors, quand je voyage, je deviens facilement anglaise ou française ou finlandaise. Je me mêle aux gens, je suis réceptive aux gens. Et cette façon fait que des fois, je suis comme mêlée. Et d'autres fois, je suis tellement sûre de moi, je me promène entre ces deux pôles-là tout le temps. Et dans mon art, bien, ça se traduit par l'aventure. je peux presque pas refaire la même chose d'une fois à l'autre. Il faut que ce soit différent. Il faut que j'ai l'impression d'explorer un continent. Il faut que j'ai l'impression d'inventer et que ça sorte de moi, mais un moi que je ne connais pas, parce que les racines sont là, mais je les imagine seulement. J'ai eu la chance d'aller en Hongrie et revoir le lieu de mes ancêtres en Transylvanie. Et là, je l'ai vu. Et là j'ai pleuré, vraiment. Je suis chanceuse d'être tout ça à la fois.
I think I have a double identity. I forgot to tell that I was born in a village in Újszász, and when I started school, we had to move to Budapest, and we were in Kőbánya. Kőbánya is a place where workers mostly lived in 57, and it was not a nice place because we were in a room. We had only 2 pieces in that house, and we lived 5 in that room: my father, my mother, my brother, and my sister. And my mother decided to leave in 57 in January, almost when the revolution broke up. And because of that, I remembered that neighborhood, Kőbánya. And when we arrived in Canada, the 2 years at the orphanage, but we lived in Park Extension in Montreal. And in Park Extension resembled like Kőbánya. And the village where I was born, I was searching for that all my adolescence, all through till the age of 24 when I started to go to Hungary. And this is what I want to say, that maybe I have a double identity because in Montreal, Park Extension looks like Kőbánya. And today Park Extension there's more Indians and there's more Pakistanis and there's more of these nations. And when we arrived, Park Extension was very Greek, was French, and was, yes, that was Greek, and some Hungarians, some Germans, and it changed completely, but Park Extension looks still today like Park Extension in 1957. And this is, this is what I wanted to say, because I feel that even in Montreal, when I started taking pictures of Montreal, I took pictures of the immigration of the Turks, the immigration of the Iranians, the Kurds, and immigration, because I took a lot of pictures of these people in the 80s, 90s, and 2000 until I stopped working there. So that's what I wanted to say, and maybe I have double identity. The identity that I came from a village, and the identity that I live in Montreal. And in Montreal, it's different nations, and I felt that I was very open-minded because I learned many languages, like that. Not fluently, but I knew many words in Turkish, many words in Iranian, many words in Greek, and this is what I love so. But my deep roots are Hungarian, even the way I express myself, and today it's the love of nature and going out all the time outside Montreal and being 8-10 hours in different regional parks, different places, refuges where I could see all these animals, because maybe we are all birds in a sense that we come and sooner or later we leave this earth and we're not there anymore, like the birds, because they're mystic, and even they're very mystic, and we never know when they arrive, we never know when they leave. So that's it. That's what I wanted to say. Thank you.
I recall a dream I had when I was maybe 5 or 6 years old. In this dream, I had nobody, but I felt good and I was comfortable. I could imagine, but I could see at the distance, far distant, the earth, and I was aware that I lived there. The other story is back to my roots, is water and mineral water and pure from the source. And it was a mineral source water next to my kindergarten, so I'm still looking for clean and pure water and trying to keep my roots.